Okay, hello, party people. So, tonight we have something special for you. By which I mean special. Holy crap. So, yeah, I'm sure there are some of you out there who are aware that long before there was a Captain America Civil War movie, long before there was, Secret Invasion, the less said about that, the better. Long before even Iron Man made his big screen live action debut, there was a Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. movie. And it is a thing that happened. Let me just get my browser and everything sorted out. I damn near started without my microphone running again, but realized what I was doing in short order and managed to restart before I got off of this particular image. So, yay. So to to start, we'll go through this. This is going to be fairly quick. I didn't take a lot of images from this one. It's an hour and a half long. It's available on YouTube. I'll try to remember to put the description in the, put the link in the description. The second graphic is me thanking the channel, so it won't be a big issue to find it. So, yeah, this is definitely a thing that happened, and it was definitely in the 90s. Given this is on YouTube and was a made-for-TV movie, the opening may have been truncated. There was no. This is literally the first sequence that you see, is David Hasselhoff's name over this blurry. We'll assume it's a shot over water. I don't know for sure. Possibly. In any case, it gave me Magnum PI vibes. Kind of remembering, watching TC flying the helicopter. Though the colors are wrong for Hawaiian waters. So, anyway. But then this graphic, this wonderful title graphic from the early 90s. Yeah, that's the kind of budget we're talking about here. That popped up. That said, these are some fine early 90s low budget title graphics. Yeah. Now, to be fair, I did put a positive note on that. The bright colors are correct for a comic book aesthetic. That's absolutely acceptable. I'm very impressed. That goes away fast. I will say, if you notice down in the lower right-hand corner of each of these graphics that I have, of the screenshots, etc., that I grabbed, you will notice that there is a green square with this image that I at first mistook for a sombrero. And the channel name is By the Gods of Science Fiction. I'm not too sure about their particular chosen graphic for their channel, but this is the channel that I found it on. So, shout out to them, and if they're still operating, thank you. So, of course, what did I say about that? With thanks to By the Gods of Science Fiction channel, whose watermark is in the bottom right. Yeah. I did say here about this that classic villains are classic. I was disappointed that Baron Strucker makes an appearance, very brief one, and is not actually the villain of the film. It's a bit of a letdown. Let's see. Music by Kevin Kiner. Kiner's a veteran soundtrack composer. He's one of my favorites. One of my favorite songs by him is the Bomar Monastery song, I believe from the Clone Wars movie, the one that introduced Ahsoka. It is what it is. It's either from the movie or the series. Either way, the name of the song is Bomar, spelled B''OMARR Monastery. It's kind of a nice little meditative thing, and it does show that Kiner pays attention to what he's making music for. The writer was David Goyer, aka David S. Goyer, and yeah, not so much. So this is a S.H.I.E.L.D. facility where they're keeping what's left of Strucker. Yeah, Von Strucker, sorry. Let's see what we got here. This is the first look at Fury, played by David Friggin Hasselhoff, looking like David Friggin Hasselhoff. And of course, Lisa, not so friggin' Rinna. I had no idea Lisa Rinna was in this until I was watching the title sequence and saw her name, and I was like, seriously? I know her only as a soap opera actress and an occasional guest on Hollywood Squares, maybe? I'm not even sure where else I would know her from, to be fair. I do know her name, though. Maybe she was on some talk show or something. In any case, the early helicarrier looks kind of rough. This is wow. I will give it to the design team for Civil War. They did a way better job on helicarriers, or even Avengers, or yeah, the Marvel, the MCU. Yeah, the Marvel Cinematic Universe really did treat the helicarrier way better. I will point out, both of them made the mistake of making it an aircraft carrier that could fly. It's a weird choice, but okay. Personally, I don't understand why it wasn't. If they could create something like this, for example, why this wasn't perceived as something that should be a closed system. Matter of fact, while I'm thinking about it, let's have a look at the SHIELD helicarrier from the comics. Because I'm pretty sure that was actually a closed... let's see, images. That's not the one I'm thinking of. We need to go back to the older comics. Let's see here. There we go. So this is what I think of when I think of the helicarrier. Yeah. But, again, they put the carrier in helicarrier, so it kind of makes sense, I suppose. In any case, yeah, it's... Wow, gotta love that late 90s graphics, which were actually done on a late 80s budget. I do love this old logo. It turns out that SHIELD in this film is the Supreme Headquarters International Espionage Law Enforcement Division, which, if I recall correctly, is what it was in the comics. I'm not sure where logistics entered it, which is what the MCU used. So, yeah. I do have to say that Gary Chalk playing Dum Dum Dugan, sorry. It's a great choice. He'll come up again. Be perfectly 100% aware he's going to come up again. Let's see. This is... Oh, Kate. She's a psychic, which is why she's touching her head. Though they did make a very juvenile implant joke about her. The big issue I have with the way this character is introduced is that she introduces herself as an ESPer, as opposed to an Esper. Yeah. Could you have talked to somebody who'd read at least one pulp novel, please, before you made this? Let's see. We have... next page, sorry. Oh, look, very futuristic gun, which turned out to be kind of Judge Dredd Blade's sword inspired. If you're not the person who's supposed to pick it up, it does bad things to you. Yeah. Comes in handy later, which, okay, not a terrible Chekhov's gun, and in this case, a literal gun. However, we have Chekhov's LMD. Yeah. When I saw this image, or this moment in the film, I had to go and actually look up the term Chekhov's gun to make sure that I wasn't using Chekhov's LMD incorrectly. I'm not, but I don't think Anton Chekhov meant for people to introduce an element. At least I think it's Anton Chekhov. I could be wrong. If it's a different Chekhov, I do apologize. But I don't believe Chekhov intended every single instance of Chekhov's gun to be something that gave away plot twists toward the end. And if you're following my logic, you already know why I was pissed off at the end of this movie. And it started at this scene, which was maybe 10, 15 minutes in. Yeah. This one. Yeah. 14 and 15. Why are they all suddenly in black leather? when Kate was introduced in the not quite classic blue outfit. Yeah, so we've got Lisa Rinna's character. This is Countess Valerie de Fontaine, who you will potentially know from Thunderbolts and other movies. This is Alexander Pierce. No, not that Alexander. Well, technically not that Alexander Pierce, but there is a point where he mentions that he went to S.H.I.E.L.D.'s Kirby Academy, which is a very nice nod to Jack Kirby, and I do appreciate that. But yeah, another one wearing all black leather. This isn't an X-Men movie. That was a couple of years later. Yeah, like they introduced her wearing the blue with the badge. Why didn't they just stick to that uniform or even go to the blue jumpsuit? Would have been even more appreciated. Earlier on, we saw a guy in a S.H.I.E.L.D. Cryogenic facility who was wearing camo. Two guys, actually, who were wearing camo. Yeah. This is not the Hydra logo I was expecting. But apparently it is one of the comic accurate ones, so can't really bitch too much, I suppose. Let's see, what have we got here? Oh, dear God. Yeah. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but she likes to point with this fingernail, and it's about that long. It's the only one that's that long. Yeah. How did I describe her? A terrible accent and pointing with your pinky are interesting choices. Yeah. and she does. She has an absolutely atrocious German accent. Definitely did not go to the Alan Rickman School of German accents. Also, the look on her face as she's shooting a guy with this gun. How did I describe it? I said the climactic expression as she kills is also interesting for a villain or a porn actress. Yeah, she literally does do porn actress face at one point while she's shooting. And this is kind of close to it. I couldn't quite get the right screenshot, so yeah. As you can tell, I didn't thoroughly enjoy this film. Let's see, this is number 20. Oh, yeah, there was loads of off-screen action as well. In an action movie. Yeah. Let's see. Melodrama not even a soap opera would touch. Yeah, I suspect Lisa Rinna, who's a soap opera veteran actress, looked at the screenwriter, who's David S. Goyer, and asked him, what the fuck? Several times. But, yeah, can't fault the writer for terrible acting either. This actually looks way better on screen than it did during the film. Amazing effects for something made 10 years after Star Trek The Next Generation. Yeah. This is actually the best of the computer-generated imagery shots I could get. Yeah, it's such trash. Amazingly bad writing. Hope the action makes up for it. It didn't. They paid for these shitty FX shots, and by God, they're going to overuse them. And they did. There's like 4 or 5 instances of just this particular sequence either flipped or played this way. Terrible. For the record, that's meant to be like a fighter type craft, transport craft. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, subtle spy craft. Yes. Sneak up on the guy very carefully. Yeah, run in tight leather in an alley with obviously holding your gun. That'll absolutely work. What do we got here? Oh yeah. Then there was the rough and rugged spy master. Yeah, that's not an oxymoron at all. Also, I will point out that the cockpit they appear to be in looks like it came out of an Apache. At least the windows do. Weird. I think this might actually be a practical shot. Which means they actually did build a miniature. That doesn't look like the CGI one, by the way. And I'm pretty sure all the explosions in the film were actually practical. This one clearly is. And that's 2 missiles impacting that transport that they were on. They survived, don't worry. Again, Gary Chalk. Where are we? Number 27. Gary Chalk's Dugan might be the best character in this. I have to definitely confirm that. This was my favorite character in the whole film. I think it's a combination of he was given good writing, or at least writing that wasn't overly fanciful, and he played it very well. He's a great actor. So he elevated every scene he was in. I'll put it that way. Speaking of elevating things, hubba hubba, no. Let me see, this is number 28. Some shots are classic cinema, and a feminine silhouette is classic cinema. I'm sorry, but this sort of shot, this is one of the things I will point out, this sort of shot really, really deserves to be in more films. It's an absolutely beautifully dynamic shot. Yes, there's a feminine form, and yes, I'm going to enjoy the fact that there's a very attractive feminine form on screen. I was born with a penis. I'm sorry. But they don't do enough of this. This is actually really good, though. That red light behind a villain adds that air of evil. That collar is something else, though. But again, they're trying to make a comic book adaptation into a film. I think they went gritty and realistic in the wrong spots. But it's still, not... I won't shit all over the cinematographer for this because, well, he was doing his best. And this is, I'm sorry, but this is a shot that belongs in a good movie. Or it's a classic shot from cinema. And it's beautiful. It's beautifully lit. I happened to grab the screenshot a little too quick. There is a moment where the light is actually more fully behind her, and she's better silhouetted, but yeah, I really appreciate these shots on multiple levels. It is what it is. Let's see here. The next one. I spent the better part of an hour trying to track down this actor's name. I couldn't remember. For the life of me, I could not remember his name. And I actually have to look to make sure I've got it right. I've seen him in 100 different things. This is Roger Cross. He's one of the best black character actors going. Now, this is a damn near 30-year-old film. And the last time I saw Roger Cross, he pretty much still looks the same. So I guess it is true that black don't crack. Let's see. Oh, yeah. That's the wrong one. Oh, sorry. Fury and Pierce, but not that Fury and Pierce. Oh, I do apologize. I had the wrong image. Shoot. There was a point where Fury and Pierce in this film were having an argument, and I wanted to make a contrast point. Fucked it up. Sorry. Let's see. Oh, I was laughing my ass off. Yeah, the deadliest poison in nature is somehow slowed down by being stuck in a meat locker. No, I'm not fucking shitting you. And that was exactly my reaction to it. And yes, I do realize that's a different company, that's a different character, and for those of you who don't know, that is in fact the Ted Kord Blue Beetle. One of my favorite characters. And if you followed me on Twitter, you've seen me post this image a lot. Because some of the shit people say is just laughable, and that's the best reaction. 34, yeah. Such tech, much future. It's a friggin' flip clock. Yeah. Okay, so I highlighted this with the caption because, where are we here? Here. Even their coded dialogue is terrible. Head nurse to surgeon, operation over, patient sedated. Yeah, there's also a lot of points where instead of referring to each other as head nurse and surgeon, the actual name of the character is just spoken over an open comm. Because, spycraft. Yeah, good job. Let's see. Oh, yes, speaking of Chekhov's gun, Yeah, and Chekhov's LMD. Yeah, like you didn't see this twist coming. Oh yeah, she shot Nick Fury. Zem LMD. Yeah. But I just killed you. No, you just killed my life model decoy. Let's see. Oh yeah, you gotta love that he's giving a psychic a pep talk, and it somehow worked. This is basically the mop-up of the operation. There was barely any action on screen, so that was at a significant letdown. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Somehow, Fury got an antidote. Oh, yeah. Continuity error. And I hope somebody else caught this. The continuity error here is that at one point, Fury is told he needs to get the Viper, the girl that was silhouetted a while ago. He needs to get her blood in order to create a cure for the poison that he's been given. At no point in the film does he actually procure any of her blood. But he just keeps on going. And nobody even mentions it. Yeah. Yeah. And what did I say? Oh, yeah, literally into the sunset. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, this, I grabbed this screenshot. Not the best one, but this is 42 and 43. This is Gary Chalk, who was my favorite character. And, well, I do apologize. I have terrible graphics here. This is Neil McDonough. Is it Donna? The guy who played Dum Dum Dugan in the Captain America movie. Yeah. And, of course, the original comic book character. And I really have to say, I really, really enjoyed this character. Gary Chalk did a great job. Some of these locations looked really familiar. This, to me, looks like the Hydra base in the opening of the Age of Ultron movie. Just shot from a different angle. And it very well might be. Oh, and our villains cackle maniacally as they walk off into a smoky area, swearing that their vengeance has only just begun. Or, yeah, it's just cheesy. Clearly attempting to set up for something in the future. Or possibly just letting people hang on things. No idea for sure. I did make a mistake because I didn't grab the two links that I wanted to put in here, so we will grab those now. Oops. This one goes there. So, this is the IMDb page for that, for the film. It's considered superhero, action, sci-fi. Fair. Though, given the amount of sci-fi and the amount of action, and the not really superhero, it's kind of superhero adjacent, action-ish, and sci-fi light would be how I'd describe these. Agent Nick Fury is asked to fight the menace of Hydra after exiling himself in the Yukon since the end of the Cold War. Yeah, it takes about a half a second for them to get him to come out of exile. There's a few different shots here. These are, of course, far better quality than what I had. One thing I do have to bring up and ask about, what the fuck was the deal with the Hydra agents all being this weird albino bald thing? That kind of threw me. Anyway, we'll zip through the trivia here real quick, and then get out of here, because I have a thing to do in a few minutes. So, Pierce mentions he trained at the S.H.I.E.L.D. Kirby Academy, a reference to comic book artist Jack Kirby. Awesome. This was Marvel's first attempt at Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Well, not really. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the series that started in 2013 and ran for 7 seasons, starred Clark Gregg and Chloe Bennett, was way better than this. And that pissed me off within, I think, the first half season, because Civil War fucked it over. They could have played it as if it was an alternate reality, because eventually they started playing as if there were alternate realities. Fuck you, Marvel. David Hasselhoff initially insisted on playing the role of Nick Fury without the character's signature eye patch, at which point I would have told David Friggin Hasselhoff to get fucked and go find another job. The character has an eye patch. Learn to love it. Of course, he conceded to the costume demands when a bout of pink eye flared up on the first day of filming. I'm going to assume he was the one with the pink eye. Dirty, dirty boy. Canon Films had an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. movie in the works in 85, 86, but it never materialized. That could have been extremely interesting. The film apparently is featured in Rob Hill's The Bad Movie Bible. Fair. It's not a great movie. We'll come to my rank, reaction, and recommendation shortly. David Hasselhoff and Sandra Hess, this is the girl who played Viper, the one who was silhouetted, previously appeared together in an episode of Baywatch Nights in 95. As of 2019, the rights of the TV movie are now owned. Whoever wrote this needs a smack in the mouth. Is owned by Marvel Studios after the Walt Disney Company bought 20th Century Fox. So, yeah, we could potentially get a white Nick Fury again, but I wouldn't bet on it. And to be fair, I mean, Sam Jackson is damn good in the character, or damn good in the role, so I'm okay with it. I wasn't okay with Secret Invasion, though. So, yeah, and this is, of course, the classic logo of S.H.I.E.L.D. So, my reaction. Mediocre. This film was mediocre, at best. And that's even for the time when it was made. It was only a few years. I mean, they'd been making Spider-Man movies at this. Well, no, that's fair. Spider-Man was actually a couple of years after this, too. Yeah, this is. I mean, to be fair, absolutely, truly fair, this is a decent bridge between the really bad Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie and, no, no, I can't even be that fair. This is trash. This movie is trash. It's absolute trash. And I'm actually going to downgrade my ranking again. I gave it a 4 initially. It's getting a 3. The cheap effects really pissed me off. If you're going to use effects, then use them where they really matter. And, the soap opera writing and acting. Dear God, that was terrible. I think this was a case of potentially trying to maintain rights. I think that may be why this film got made. To be fair, I think Hasselhoff got a little ripped off by being in this film. But, and to be fair, he did look significantly like Nick Fury, though. They really should have grayed his temples. That's something they missed that they really shouldn't have. I'm thinking that's probably why the eye patch was in, because he refused to have the gray temples. Which is funny, because I believe the last time I saw him, he actually had gray temples. Let's see. What makeup effects and creature effects there were actually really good. I will give it that. There was at least one practical miniature explosion, and I do believe all the explosions in this film were, in fact, practical. That's a point in its favor. Let's see. That silhouette shot, that's classic cinema. Right? It's a classic thing from cinema where you have a female character who gets silhouetted from behind. It happens in loads of films. So, yeah, it's a classic nod. It's a nod to classic cinema. There we go. Got it out. So, yeah, I'm still leaving my ranking at 3. Recommendation? Only if you want to study comic book cinema history, which, to be fair, that's half the reason I watched it. And if you either love Hasselhoff or Nick Fury, neither is at their best here. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. Not one of my favorite early Marvel movies. I think The Punisher with Dolph Lundgren was better, and a better adaptation. In terms of, the writing, it was bland. The action was nearly non-existent. The The acting was, oh dear God, stiff is the best way I can describe it. This is one of those movies that was shot. That's the best I can say about it. Other than that, you know, it is what it is. So please, if you like what I'm doing, go down to the description, find the Ko-Fi link, and support me, as my friends, or my friend Simon JJ, who is deeply appreciated, and of course everybody in the Morangutan gang, which includes everybody who has given at least something or purchased something at some point. I will point out I'm still hunting for a merch supplier. I have a couple of different options that I'm exploring. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully by the end of this month I'll have something so that I can put out some Christmas stuff. Other than that, I hope you're doing well. I hope you continue to do well. And as always, rise and rise again until lambs become lions. Bye-bye.